Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Carlos. Today I'll be going to be going over the bench press routine. It's been 2 days since the session, and I'm just feeling absolutely great. It was a great session. No PR. Well, yeah, I did hit a PR, which I'm going to be going over. Going to be reviewing range of motion, limited range of motion, and complete change of technique on the flat bench press. So, starting out with the incline press, where I injured my shoulder close to 8 weeks ago. It's doing fine. There was a point there where I couldn't lift my arm. You guys have been following me. I've been yapping about this for a while. But to me, it's very important to be able to bench press, right? Because, my goals are to be, increasing in power and strength and size over the coming years. And if you can't bench press, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, yeah, you can get around the bench press doing other pressing exercises, but again, if your shoulder's shot, what can you do? You're not going to be able to lift, any significant amount of weight, and without significant amount of weight, you're not going to be developing a significant amount of muscle mass. So I had to overcome that issue. It wasn't nothing was truly torn or severely damaged in the rotator cuff or anything like that. Um, I still haven't properly defined exactly what happened. It's just like this tendon here, this muscle. I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't move it. Laying down, I couldn't lift my arm off my chest. And it was really bad. It was hurting too. And it was radiating. It must have been a nerve or something, but it did pop. Like in that incline bench, I felt it went pop. Oh, shit, that's over. Anyway, so started out with very lightweight, just one plate on each side, a 20 kilo plate on each side. And ranging the motion, I still haven't been able to bring it down to my throat. So I concentrated basically on the elbow angle, that it would come down to 90 degrees, and conscientiously pushing up my chest and retracting the scapula and just feeling, more mind muscle connection. And not shying away from the weight. Every single time I put weight on that bar, I'm scared that I'm going to hurt myself again. Now, a normal person would say, well, don't do that. You might hurt yourself. And my philosophy is run away from safety. Safety is probably the most dangerous thing you can look for in this life. If you look for safety, probably going to get hurt. If you look for refuge and you're defeated by these things, I like to say that's not what I'm looking for, anyways. And my understanding is very different. So I decided to see how high it could go again. Okay, so I put on 200 pounds, the 100 kilos, the 220-pound plates on each side, and my concern was not to bring it all the way down to the throat and please the audience out there. Okay, that's full range of motion. He's good. No, it's to me to get my mind muscle connection and to feel the heavy weight again, and to break 90 degrees on the elbow. If you observe on the video, the elbow is doing the 90 degrees. So here, there's sufficient range of motion for my purposes for the day, not for the judges out there. And are going to say, well, he didn't do a complete range of motion. It's bullshit. It didn't work. I'll tell you something. It worked. It worked. Mass is increasing. I'm feeling stronger. And I didn't shy away, which is the most important thing. So I was victorious over that fear. I mean, it's a real fear, because if it comes down and the angle's off or something, I heard it again. Didn't happen. It was a wonderful lift in my own assessment. So I went a little bit heavier. I went up to 110 kilos. And I said, now you're really pushing it. Now you're looking for trouble. I said, no, I'm just not going to let this thing push me around. So that was completely not full range of motion, did not even break 90 degree. And so what's the purpose of it? Well, the purpose is to feel the weight in the hand again, to feel that pressure, the heavy weight. And it felt heavy to me. It's like, oh shit, this is really heavy. I can't bring it down, but I'm going to try. And and it has its benefits. Again, just overcoming that obstacle. I dialed it down. Went down to 200 pounds, and then started repping out in the lower weight ranges. So I felt a satisfaction with that. I did a lot of volume. I did 9 sets. I did 4 sets with lightweight with higher reps. And yes, trying to bring the weight down further and further and further. Now, I don't, okay, it's great for mobility. It's great for performance to be able to do that, but it's not strictly necessary for hypertrophy, the full range of motion. You're going to, find debate on this all day long. I can show you great lifters with huge muscle, hypertrophy who do very limited range of motion. So it can all work. It just depends on what you want to really focus on. And obviously I'm trying to focus on perfect technique and, heavy weight and all that. So eventually the idea is to have complete range of motion with the heavy weight. For right now, this is what I'm doing. It's my limit. So then I went to the flat bench. And the flat bench is the one that I just can't do. The arm was hurting, the shoulder was hurting, and there was no way for me to get over that the last few weeks. It's been very limited. I think last week I did go up to 175 pounds with an extreme guillotine technique and bringing it way back and all, and that's not going to fly either. So today, or 2 days ago in the training session, I decided to give the legit wide grip powerlifting type of technique a chance. I've never done wide grip bench press. I always do a semi-narrow stance, very arm dominant bench press. So, okay, just gonna have to change. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Biggest lie in the universe. Biggest lie. Lies, just lies everywhere. Everybody lies. You can learn up until, extreme old age if you want to. Now, it's just an issue of, are you too stubborn, too stupid, or too unwilling? If you have the right spirit, you can do anything at any age, at any time. So that's just, that's the truth of it. So I decided to do the wide grip bench press. Felt awesome. Just tried it with the bar, okay? Wide grip, knurling on the first finger and expanded it just a little bit to get the, just wider range, expanding the chest. And then I brought it up and I said, well, okay, that's a very different movement pattern from anything I've ever done before. Let's give it a shot. Okay, just warmed up with a bunch of reps with the bar. Then I put on a 5 kilo, and then a 10 kilo, and then a 15 kilo. And then when I got to the 20 kilo, it was feeling easier and easier to the point where, okay, I'm pausing this thing because this is what you need in powerlifting until they give you the green light, right? You bring it down and you hold it, and then you're good to go to bump it up again instead of doing the doom, the constant the faster cadence with the movement. So I practiced that. It was feeling really good. It was feeling like this is the natural movement for me. The shoulder is not hurting. I'm feeling the pecs contracting. I feel the clavicle. Everything was perfect. I'd never done this movement before. I don't know. I got used to the narrow grip, and I said, okay, I want to develop my arms first of all. So narrow grip bench press is the way to go, right? Evidently not. Evidently not. So I've been corrected, and from now on, at least, for the foreseeable future, it will be wide grip, pause on the chest, and exploding on the way up. So I went a little bit higher. I went up to one plate is 60 kilos. So then I went up to 70 kilo, and then up to 80 kilo. And the 80 kilo felt even easier. And the pause feels so reflexive. It feels almost therapeutic. It felt like a massage on my chest. I bring it down, and then it's just easy. Easy. I said, man, I'm going to go for 2 plates today. I said, no, you're fine. You did 9 sets on the incline and like 6 sets there on the flat. Very lightweights, and just groove on that technique. So... that was basically the outcome, or the good result from that session is a change in technique, radical change in technique, totally new, wide grip, and it seems to be working to incorporate with my other changes in technique, like in the squat, which I'm doing the full pause on the bottom, and man, that's also revolutionizing my squat. It's getting it back into, going down into the hole at least, And then today we have the deadlift, and I'm wandering a little bit. Let's stay focused on the bench press. So again, wide grip, working great. So what happened after that? Almost every single session I've had for the last 2 years, when I do bench, irregardless of the injury, like before the injury and all of that, my shoulders would be on fire. I mean, literally, I would feel like that lactic burn when you do a long set. Except I would feel that burn for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's like, it's like my shoulders are burning. What's going on? My arms too. So I don't feel that. Like yesterday I was great. Today, man, nothing in the shoulder. It's like, it's almost like being born again. I don't know, for you guys that are really, hardcore into this, say you're a great bench presser and all of a sudden they say you can't bench press anymore. I'm sure you would be feeling a bit discouraged and a bit like irked and like, what am I going to do now? And you're progressing with the bench press and all of a sudden you can't do it anymore. Because the day I got injured, I was up to 3 plates. I got a 3-plate bench press there. I haven't gotten that in a long time. And I said, man, I'm building it. I'm going to do this thing. And then on my last set on the incline with a lightweight, just with one little plate, thing went boop. I mean, I could almost hear it go pop. Like, fuck, darn. Anyways, good news. It's back. I'm back. I'm feeling really great. So, I had to pause here while I get my second brain going. A bit of coffee. Yeah, I don't want dead air on the videos. That's very embarrassing. Like, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, yeah, you were going on about the bench press. So, yeah, that was that. So what was the PR? I'd never done 8 reps on the incline for 2 plates. Yeah, sure, they didn't go down to the throat, but they broke 90 degrees if you look at the elbows, and it's good enough for me. If I hit 10, I'm definitely just going to stick with 110 kilos and be working that. So, but the flat bench, man, so excited about that. So next week, we'll definitely be trying a little bit heavier weight, spending more time on the flat, and just working from that. I know a lot of you guys say that these exercises are dangerous, and I've been reading commentaries on one of the groups that I'm involved with, and there's a lot of detractors out there. Like, you'll find people that are negative about everything or anything really. It's the worst thing for you. You hurt your body. Go do calisthenics. Weightlifting and, the steroids, and then, it's everything. Everybody's like full of opinions and detracting and hating on people and negative. And let me tell you, I was about as excited and happy when I left the gym that day, 2 days ago, after doing those bench presses. It's hard to describe the happiness and the euphoria that I felt. And then, sharing these things with other people, there's a lot of shit and negativity and like, no, it's not as happy, and that happy place that you possess there for a while. The outside negativity is just, it's terrible, man. It's like, why would anybody want to listen to anybody else's opinion if they're on the right path? If they're doing things wrong, and if they're not going anywhere, yeah, they need some advice. But when you're succeeding, that's when you start seeing a lot of people shitting on you. It's like, oh, don't do that. It's like, no, it's like my first PR on the squat got a lot of blowback, and it's like, man, this is human nature. What a shitty nature human nature is. It should be reformed. Like, human nature should be like just super positive and uplifting and building and not tearing down. But us humans have a tendency to have some very dark streaks in us that want to bring others down. I purposely do not do that. I try to like on everybody and lift everybody up. And if I don't have a good thing to say about somebody particularly, I won't say anything. And, life takes care of all of those little slights and irks and shit that, people want to throw around. And they reap their own reward. I mean, just being negative is your own punishment. Just be negative. So just try to be as uplifting and build other people up, and you will be built up too. It's it's one of those things. What goes around comes around, and for those of you that are following me and watching what I do, I have nothing but the best wishes for everybody. That everybody succeed in their particular endeavors, may it be weightlifting or art or their chosen professions or in their family life, whatever. It's my desire that everybody be as happy and as blessed and as uplifted and as hopeful and positive for the future as they can, manage their inner strength to pull off. So anyways, been rambling there a bit. God bless everybody, and we will see you in the next video.
Gracias.